What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz97, and welcome to the Taboo Tuesday pay-per-view. It's being hosted on a Sunday. I don't know why. They kind of explained it in the last episode, but yeah. But thank you so much for casting your votes. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head because I forgot to prepare, but there was I think there was almost 100 per poll, which was pretty cool. I think the number was around 70 or 80. Which is pretty cool, just considering I don't even get that many comments on the video, so I wasn't sure how many people were going to check them out. So it was a cool experiment. Might try to do something like this again in the future, but we'll see how that goes. For right now, this is Taboo Tuesday, the pay-per-view. You all casted your votes, and we're gonna see what the results of them were. I'm gonna have images on the screen to actually show the numbers. It's just, I'm a bit disappointed that I forgot to do that beforehand, but I'm in a bit of a time crunch at the moment, but enough about that. As you can see, Rey Mysterio is going to be taking on Mick Foley for the Intercontinental Championship, and just now, last minute, I'm deciding, let's make this a hardcore match. Let's throw a stipulation in there. Why not? Because injuries for everybody. Yeah, so obviously Rey Mysterio won the poll for who was going to face Mick Foley for the IC title. One of our throwaway matches. Not so much of a throwaway, because I've decided we're going to have two Fatal 4-Ways, and the winner of each Fatal 4-Way is going to, the two winners are going to face off, they're going to compete, and the winner of that match will get a title shot, whether that's for the Intercontinental title, the WWE title, or maybe the tag team titles, preferably a singles championship shot, but I haven't decided between the two just yet. I guess it depends on who wins, where that's going to lead us, but as you can see, it is Kane, JBL, Finlay, and Mr. Kennedy in that very first Fatal 4-Way. Then we have John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, another matchup that you could vote for, and you decided last man standing. That's what I was figuring was going to win, and plus it's a pay-per-view, so you can't bust out the last man standing matches all that often, so it works out. Here's the other Fatal 4-Way. We've got Carlito, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, and Shelton Benjamin, and like I said, the winner of that match is going to face the winner of this match on the next episode of Raw, and the winner of that match gets a title shot for whatever championship that may be. Which means that the Tag Team Championship #1 contenders you determined would be Batista and Triple H. Now, obviously, the options were a set of rivals. Carlito and Kane were also in there, just because why not? But it was Batista and Triple H who won out, so it'll be interesting to see how this works. I decided to go with a normal tag team matchup. I usually do Tornado and stuff because, you know, tag team mechanics in this game are garbage, so might as well make it more like a Fatal 4-Way, but we'll try the normal tag team matchup just to add some diversity to the show. And then the main event, this is risky because the Undertaker still has one week left on that injury. That's not what I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit circle, I think. No. I gotta be here first. Oh, jeez, I can't view it from there. But he has, it isn't even gonna show me his injury. That's just great, but he has an injury. It was a leg thing, I believe. But yeah, he's got 1 week left on that. But Steel Cage won the voting, so we're gonna risk it. We're gonna put the Undertaker's well-being in jeopardy here in this match with Kurt Angle, and I guess we'll see. If he retains and gets injured, well then we're in a bit of trouble. If he doesn't retain and gets injured, that's a bit less concerning. Or maybe he retains or loses, either way, and doesn't get injured, which would be the ideal situation. But we'll see how that goes. Also, while I'm thinking about this, the Power 25, apparently I was wrong. Apparently you can update the stables, because as long as you have the import option on, which I always have it on. So apparently it just takes a week to set in. So not after Taboo Tuesday, it's not going to show up, but after the next episode of Raw, I'm going to check back in the Power 25 because I did make M&M stable. So we'll see, and I made sure to set it to tag team instead of alliance. So we'll see how this works out. We'll see if Nitro and Mercury will share a slot, because that would be great. That would really help me out here. But I think that's enough with the prefacing, let's confirm the match card and jump straight into it. We are playing every single match this time, so it's going to be a doozy of an episode. Hopefully I can get this one out on time, but let's go. And here we go, folks. Let's get this show on the road. Gotta love that. I was about to say Cyber Sunday, but this is Taboo Tuesday. Close enough. You gotta love that arena, though. I mean, you've got the whole keyboard set up. I mean, Taboo Tuesday is a really weird name. I don't know how exactly it translates to the whole voting process. I think Cyber Sunday was a more appropriate name for that. Because taboo, like, what's taboo about letting the fans decide? I don't quite get it. But, yeah. This is Taboo Tuesday, Rey Mysterio kicking off the show. And it's funny because Rey Mysterio had an Intercontinental Championship match. Well, he was the first Intercontinental Champion in this series. He obviously lost it at Backlash to Mr. Kennedy. Or was it at Backlash, or was it on an episode of Raw? Either way, he lost it to Mr. Kennedy. But now, tonight, he is challenging Mick Foley for that very championship. Can he win it back? Let's wait and see. I do apologize if this pay-per-view is an hour or so late. I'm recording this, usually, you know, every episode before this, well, I guess not every episode, because I did record some of it in November, but the majority of episodes before this were all recorded back in January, because I knew that I was going to be at college. I addressed it in several videos previously in this series, but how I was at college, so I wasn't going to bring my PlayStation 2 with me, so I needed to record enough to get me through to when I'd come back for the summer break. So I did that. This is the first episode coming back, and I was hoping that I would have this, that I could record this on Monday. Well, I forgot that Monday, at the time of recording this, which was yesterday, I forgot that that was Memorial Day. So I did not have the time to record it yesterday. So I figured, okay, well then I'll do it today. Well, as I was setting this up, I ran into some technical difficulties. Part of that is because I'm right now rendering the next episode of SmackDown for Universe Mode on my computer. But the problem with that is that if I tried to record this on that, there would be, you know, there's no way it would work. Like, recording it live, I don't think my computer has the processing power to not only render a video, record the footage for this, even though it's not in HD, it's in, what is it, 480i, 480p, one of the two, whatever the heck the PlayStation 2 used. Even though it's not in HD, just recording the commentary, the footage, and then rendering a video, I don't think my computer can process that. So I decided, well, I have the Mac that I was given for college, because I was expecting to make video projects and stuff on that for college. So I need to stop using this Gutbuster. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make this match repetitive. I just keep happening to hit in the same direction. But I have this other computer, and so I figured, okay, I'll use my Mac this time, because I hadn't done that before. I hadn't recorded that, well, because I don't know why, but I just hadn't recorded it on the Mac before. So I figured, okay, I can do that, because that way I can still render this Universe Mode video, which I need to upload tomorrow. And then after I do, or while I'm doing that, I don't have to, like, wait to record Taboo Tuesday, because then I'd be really late. I'd miss it by a complete day. Which, I want to at least get this out on Tuesday, because it is Taboo Tuesday. But I know this is going to be a long event, so even right now I'm recording this at 1 o'clock, and I need the video to be up in 3 hours, and I expect this to take about an hour, so I don't think I'll be done until about 2 o'clock. And then just the process of, I need to convert the commentary file, because, well, actually, no, I don't have to do that, I'm wrong. And I use the Gutbuster again. But the commentary file, usually when I record it on my computer, my other computer, my Windows computer, I should specify between the two. When I record on my Windows computer, I use, well, the file exports as an M4A file, which Sony Vegas will not process on my Windows computer. So I need to convert it using, so I would have needed to use my Mac anyway. I would have had to convert it to an MP3 file. But that's the thing. This computer on Mac, you can't, like, the interface for Elgato is different, so I can't access the sharing preferences. I don't even think that's an option on Mac, which disappoints me. It actually angers me, because I was getting ready to do this commentary, to record live commentary, but I always export my commentary to a separate audio file, because if I don't, then I have to worry about balancing the game audio and whatnot, and it's too much of a hassle for me. Or, well, I mean, I guess it's not too much of a hassle, I prefer doing it this way. That's just my preferred method of recording, I suppose. But I can't do that because I don't have access to the sharing interface. So that's troublesome. So instead, right now, I'm just running Audacity in the background as I'm recording the footage. Hopefully nothing lags or gets, I mean, I'd hear it in the audio if it did. Like, I'd hear skipping or whatever. And so far I haven't, though that doesn't mean that nothing's gonna not happen later on, if that made any sense. But yes, enough with that little tangent. I had technical difficulties with this. I had time difficulties. Because I didn't want to record it. Well, I uploaded the last episode on Friday, and I wanted to give enough time for people to vote. So I gave it the weekend, but then just I couldn't record it yesterday, on Monday. So I'm recording it today on Tuesday. And hopefully, no, this video will be out on Tuesday. I'm not going to delay it to Wednesday, but it just might be a little late. I guess if it becomes super duper late, then maybe I will delay it, but I don't see that happening at this point in time, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, Mick Foley has got Rey Mysterio up on the top rope. Superplex by Foley! And is that going to be enough to put away Mysterio? Foley, no. Foley's not done. Mick Foley got him. Double underhook DDT. And Mick Foley may have just put Mysterio away, but he's not going for the cover. Mick Foley, does he have something else in mind? Mick Foley, perhaps he's getting a little too full of himself right now, but Mysterio's back to his feet. Rey Mysterio has got him now by the arm. But so far, Rey Mysterio, I mean, just look at this. Mysterio's got almost nothing left. Oh, and I know what Foley was waiting to do. Mick Foley has got him with a mandible claw. And Mysterio's out. Mysterio's out cold. Foley into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and there it is, folks. Mick Foley retains the Intercontinental title in a hardcore match where he actually didn't go hardcore. That's a bit bizarre. Mick Foley perhaps turning a new leaf. Is he trying to abandon his hardcore ways? I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how this develops. But for now, here at Taboo Tuesday, Mick Foley retains the Intercontinental title. And I guess Mysterio, well, it'll be better luck next time for him. Now we move on to one of 2 Fatal 4-Way matches. And these 2 matchups are going to have some pretty interesting implications, especially depending on who wins. You know, if they're potentially in WWE Championship contention, we could be looking at the next WWE Champion in the making. Or, if they're not in contention, well then the Intercontinental title, Mick Foley, we saw he just retained against Rey Mysterio, so then they at least get a bit of, a consolation prize for that. It really does all depend on who wins, because let's say someone like Finlay wins, right? Finlay, he's not even on the Power 25 rankings right now. It would be a bit of a journey, I guess, to get somebody like him to the Intercontinental title, which is why I do keep it open-ended that any championship could be up for grabs in terms of, you know, who these people are going to go to face. Because if somebody like Finlay or Mr. Kennedy wins and they're not on the Power 15, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get them to a WWE title shot. So you got to be a bit realistic in terms of expectations as far as that goes. Another interesting change that has happened since the last recording, which was obviously in January, like I said before, is that now, I've done updates about this on well, obviously I did a State of the Channel video on it, but I dropped out of college, so now, well, I did that so I could pursue this full time, and I gave all my explanations in that video, but it is interesting now. Right now, I'm just at a point where I'm trying to figure out a schedule, because getting back to making Universe Mode videos has definitely slowed down production on my second channel, which has now surpassed this channel. So it's just interesting to see, to try to figure out what I'm gonna do moving forward with just everything in general, trying to plan this all out. So right now, I'm just kind of keeping things as they are. I know I'm gonna be taking away main event from Universe Mode here after Extreme Rules. There's gonna be a big send-off for main event, but that's gonna go away, try to accommodate this new shift, but GM Mode shouldn't change. GM Mode's still gonna come at it 1 a week, so not much changing there. But moving forward, I do think that it is in my best interest to try to start diverting attention away from this wrestling channel, just because I addressed it again in the State of the Channel video, so if you haven't already seen that, I highly recommend that you check that video out. But just to give a bit of a more of an explanation, I suppose. I like making the content that I make on both channels, but I like that the other channel has, like, I can make the type of content that I want to make, and it will reach a broader audience. Whereas with wrestling stuff, if I want to reach a broader audience, I have to make a type of content that I'm not particularly interested in, because a lot of the content that gets popular in this community is more of the concept videos, more of the, I guess, you could do like fantasy booking stuff, anything that I guess What Culture does, like top 10s, or you could do, in terms of WWE gaming specifically, you could make videos like Raw, SmackDown recreations, and those tend to, if 2K will, like 2K only shares a certain type of content, and there's also, you have like the entrance mix-ups, which those were, at least when the game first came out, those are pretty popular. So I'd imagine that would be the case again when WWE 2K18 rolls around. But I don't know, that type of content, it just doesn't really interest me. I like making my Universe Mode videos, and do they take a bit more? I won't say that, not like you can't put more effort into those other kind of videos, those other, like an entrance mashup or whatever, but they are much simpler in terms of producing them, in terms of just, coming up with an idea. With Universe Mode, you have to come up with storylines, you have to obviously play the matches, you need to, there's a lot of production that goes into making a Universe Mode, especially my kind of Universe Mode, where I want everything to look like it's an actual show, to make it look more like something you'd see on TV, because that's just the type of content that I like making. And I feel like if I did try to express, me trying to express these thoughts, I might come off as bitter or whatever, because oh, my content's not popular on this channel, and I'm sad because my channel's not, I'm at 10,000 subscribers when, other YouTubers are much more successful than I am. That's not the case. The reason why I do mention this, though, what I'm trying to say is that I like making the content that I'm making, and I'm okay with the audience that it brings in. But if I did want to try to attract a broader audience, I would have to make a different kind of content. I had something else I was going to say with that, but I'm having a little bit... This isn't really the place to discuss it in detail. That's why I made the State of the Channel video on it. Because right now I'm obviously trying to play the game. Can't focus completely on what I want to say. Hopefully some of what I just said made any sense. Really gotta watch what you say, though, because, you say one thing and it sounds kind of controversial, and then it just gets taken out of context, and then it's just bleh. But, I don't know, most people, not even people who watch, my Universe Mode videos obviously have a bigger reach than these GM Mode videos do, so it's not even all the wrestling fans are watching this GM Mode, because, they only want to watch my Universe Mode, and I'm okay with that. That's perfectly fine. I think Universe Mode is what I'm known for. It's the type of content that is, I guess I would say, it is really me, because that is, I guess, I don't know how to describe it. That's my passion project. That's my baby, my Universe Mode. Wait a minute, Mr. Kennedy going after JBL from the top rope. Green Bay plunge, and does that mean that the alliance between JBL and Mr. Kennedy is no more? right now, I mean, this Fatal 4-Way has been, I guess it truly is every man for themselves. So maybe I am, it's every man for themselves, so maybe I am blowing that out of proportion, what Kennedy just did to JBL, but knowing how egotistical these two men are, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. As right now, Mr. Kennedy, just wait a minute, Finley the cover, Finley gets the win over JBL! Thanks to Mr. Kennedy's Green Bay plunge, a bloodied and battered Finley snuck in for the pin on JBL, and Finley is moving on to the #1 contenders match on the next episode of Raw. What a turnabout, what a turn of events this is for Finley. A golden opportunity made out of this matchup, and you can see Finley is just living it up right now. Finley, his stock is certainly on the rise after that victory. Well, depending on who wins the next Fatal 4-Way matchup, the winner of this last man standing match could be the next #1 contender for the WWE title. This matchup certainly does have the pedigree for that, just looking at the two competitors involved. Of course, you've got the leader of the Chain Gang, John Cena, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And what a way to set, I mean, really now, we're gonna start kicking this pay-per-view into high gear. A last man standing match. We got a steel cage match coming up later on, and then Triple H and Batista. We'll have to see how they work together in their tag team championship match against M&M. That'll be interesting. But for right now, it's John Cena, Shawn Michaels in a last man standing match. And with that being the case, could we potentially see some interference from Triple H in this one? We're not entirely sure what the alliance is, or what the alliance is between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I mean, they see, I don't know, at one point it looked as though DX could have been on the horizon, but then at Unforgiven in the Elimination Chamber, it came down to Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So, are they on the same page? Are they not? Perhaps in that situation where the WWE title was on the line, I mean, the two men, they knew what they were getting into. Both men wanted to be champion, so of course they would battle it out. But, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to, you know, if Triple H is going to get involved in this matchup, then he'll get involved. But if he doesn't, then he doesn't. And it's just as simple as that, folks. But Shawn Michaels shouldn't be banking on interference from Triple H to bail him out of this one. And I'm sure Shawn Michaels can do it on his own. But will he be able to do so on this night? Is tonight Shawn Michaels' night? Let's find out. I've been jumping around a bit in this episode in terms of topics, and I think part of that is just because I'm trying to get this done, not really last minute, but like I guess it is kind of last minute because I didn't have the time I was expecting to. But in terms of what I was saying earlier about trying to focus more attention on the second channel, on the anime channel rather, because I guess technically if you want to go by the numbers, this is now the second channel, which does sort of, I guess, stress the importance of just my current situation. Because right now I'm just kind of going along as I usually would, just making the same type of content that I was making before. The reason why I was able to upload so much on the anime channel before was because I took a bit of a break with Universe Mode after the WrestleMania pay-per-view. And I will admit I was a little burned out after WrestleMania. But GM Mode obviously kicked up. We had 2 episodes per week with that, just because I had so much extra backlog, so I decided to just upload it so that way I could record more, give you guys, you know, at least that way when I did end up putting Universe Mode on a hiatus, I was still able to get you guys content on the channel. That and the Pokemon stuff, but I know the Pokemon stuff isn't as popular. But with GM Mode going forward, we're just going to have 1 episode a week. That was the norm prior to the Universe Mode hiatus, and bringing back Universe Mode, trying to maintain the other channel, and also on top of that, trying to produce 2 GM Mode videos a week, it's just not feasible for me. So we are going to go back to the 1 episode per week. Usually the pay-per-views are going to come out, you know, sometimes I do have 2 per week because the pay-per-views I'll upload on a Saturday. This Taboo Tuesday was a bit of an exception. I guess it all depends on how things work into my schedule in the future. Because I have been trying to plan out a schedule of videos, moving, of course, over the course of the summer, and then on top of that, making videos for, you know, the lead up to 2K18, basically. I don't really have any plan for the anime channel in terms of videos, because I haven't made enough of those to figure out how long the production aspect takes, and really each of those videos are different. Whereas with basically everything that I make here, it is sort of, in a way, streamlined, because I have a certain formula that I follow with Universe Mode, with GM Mode, with Pokemon videos. So, GM Mode, I'm gonna end up doing like a big session of recording GM Mode videos, so that, because I kind of want to stockpile those again. I like having the backlog, so I'm probably going to stockpile them for the summer, just because that's going to help me try to gather my bearings on YouTube right now. Wait a minute, Sweet Chin music by Shawn Michaels, but of course this is a last man standing match, so a super kick that might have won the match in an ordinary situation might not do so here. He's got to keep John Cena down for a 10 count in order to win this matchup. As now Cena fights back with a vicious neck breaker. Nice move there by Cena. As now he picks Michaels to his feet, gonna toss him into the corner. And John Cena, massive clothesline. But yes, GM Mode 1 per week, and that's gonna be the case for a while now. But mainly, when I talk about making this schedule, it's more so centered around Universe Mode, because I have a certain pay-per-view that I want to get to before the end of 2K17's lifespan. Because it really is important with scheduling storylines around all of that. So, for a while now, I've been planning out a Universe Mode schedule. I think I did that for 2K. I mean, maybe not necessarily having it like written down or like in some sort of a document to validate, like, okay, I want to have this done at this time. But in terms of just having a schedule, I've, like, at least in terms of just like figuring out when I think each pay-per-view is going to happen, I have had that, I think maybe as early as 2K15, just in terms of, you know, a loose. And now when I say 2K15, it would have definitely been like a loose schedule, just trying to get the basic idea of when pay-per-views are going to be. But with this year, you know, I have a goal that I want to hit. Like, I want to have a certain event done. It's going to be like, in terms of how much time I have left, I cannot possibly get to SummerSlam in 2K17, not with the amount of time it takes to make the videos and how much time I have left. But the pay-per-view right before SummerSlam is what I would like to get to, so that in 2K16 I kicked off with SummerSlam, in 2K18 we'd be kicking off with SummerSlam again, to kind of keep up that pattern. So that's the goal, is to, wait a minute, Shawn Michaels with a backbreaker to John Cena. Oh my god, Michaels over the top rope to the floor, fall away slam. You see how much that took out of Michaels, but is that going to get him a 10 count? I don't think that it will. John Cena, he's still moving down there. Michaels is going to have to do more than that. Look at Shawn Michaels. He launched himself over the top, but he missed. He crashed and burned. And now John Cena's got him. Into the barricade goes Michaels. And Shawn Michaels hung out on that barricade. But John Cena's not done. John Cena, he has suffered at the hands of Shawn Michaels and Triple H in the past. And now, he's looking to make Shawn Michaels suffer, going after the arm, targeting the arm of Shawn Michaels. I apologize for being a bit scatterbrained in this event. I guess I'm just in that sort of a mentality right now where I can't really focus on the topics for too long. So I think I'm just going to call the action from here on out. I think I might have, I don't know if I exactly completed that last topic I was discussing, but to avoid making this pay-per-view a total cluster, I'll just give up on it there. That type of stuff, again, is more suited for like a more formal update. Anyways, Shawn Michaels with the famouser on the outside. As things have broken down, things have gotten physical. Shawn Michaels going to work on the leg of John Cena. As Michaels again just looking to target that leg of Cena. Of course, in a last man standing match, if an opponent can't use their legs to get to their feet, that's going to put them at a huge disadvantage. As John Cena now going to toss Michaels across the ringside area. Oh, but now Michaels going to try to toss him into those steel steps, but that did not. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. John Cena uncovering the announce table. What could Cena be thinking here? Oh, but Michaels looking to catch him off guard with some shots to the midsection of the kidneys. And there's a boot straight to the abdomen. And now the referee begins the count. There's no way that that's going to keep John Cena down for a 10 count. That's impossible. And indeed, it was only a 4, but Michaels is right on him. Oh, a low blow by Michaels. And now, oh, look at Michaels again. Michaels, DDT on the floor. Good God, that might do it. The thumb to the eye, the kick to the leg that Michaels had been targeting, and then the DDT on the floor. Can Cena get back to his feet? Referee up to a count of 4. Count of 6 now. Cena has not moved. Count of 8. Count of 9. And Cena is done. Cena is out cold. That DDT on the concrete floor was enough to put John Cena out of commission. And Shawn Michaels picks up a massive victory in this last man standing match. You can see John Cena, he's in bad shape out there. He might have suffered a concussion thanks to Shawn Michaels. But Shawn Michaels, a massive victory. Could he be the next #1 contender for the WWE title? I can't think of anybody more deserving at this point. But that could change here in just a few moments, as the winner of this matchup will move on to face Finlay on the next episode of Raw. And the winner of that match will get a championship opportunity. For what title, we do not yet know, but I have a feeling that the outcome of this matchup could definitely shape what title that could be. Because if you have a guy like Edge, Eddie Guerrero, potentially even Shelton Benjamin, if he gets the win, the WWE title, that's looking like I can't think of the word, but it's looking like it's a good chance that they could be in contention for that title, especially Shelton Benjamin coming off that massive Intercontinental Championship reign. I mean, if he wouldn't be deserving of a WWE title shot after that, I mean, you'd have to, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But the WWE title definitely is a possibility. Maybe not so for, I think Carlito really would be the only guy who wouldn't have really much of a chance of being in contention for the WWE title. But I'd have to say everyone else in this matchup has a pretty good shot. And it would be a bit of a mismatch. You saw Finlay win that last matchup, so whoever wins this matchup, that could potentially work against them, though. If they go into a matchup with Finlay thinking that they've got the obvious advantage, thinking that they've got an easy win, that could be how Finlay picks up the upset over him. And if Finlay does that, if he defeats a superstar of that caliber, somebody like an Edge, an Eddie Guerrero, Shelton Benjamin, he might only be getting a shot at the Intercontinental title. But moving forward, Finlay could potentially be, you could definitely throw his name into the mix for the WWE Championship. And that is a crazy thing considering where he is on the card right now. And this Fatal 4-Way can get underway. Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Carlito, Shelton Benjamin. As right now, Shelton, oh, rake of the eyes there by Guerrero to Carlito. Meanwhile, Edge and Shelton are going at it. Edge with a couple of kicks to the midsection. It'll be interesting to see how the rivalry between Edge and Eddie Guerrero, well, there it is. There you see it. I was wondering how that rivalry would take effect, but that could potentially be a detriment to these two men. If they're too focused on settling their score. Wait a minute, Eddie Guerrero with an arm breaker from the top rope. And you saw Guerrero add his vintage flair to that one. But it could be detrimental that these two men, if they just focus solely on each other. I mean, we saw when Mr. Kennedy, took his eyes off of JBL, Finlay was able to just sneak in and score the pin. Nobody saw it coming. So it could potentially, the same could happen to Edge and Eddie Guerrero if they're too focused on each other. Shelton could pin Carlito or vice versa. Or perhaps Edge or Guerrero, they take one of each other out, and then somebody like Carlito or Shelton just sneaks in for the pin, capitalizing on their scraps. Worked for Finlay. As a massive superplex there by Eddie Guerrero. Edge, I believe, just took Shelton down with a DDT. It's tough to keep eyes on the action in this matchup. As right now, Carlito and Benjamin going back at it. Guerrero, well, Benjamin just was just catapulted over the top rope. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Carlito and Benjamin are down on the outside. Guerrero, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. Guerrero nearly won this matchup right then and there. Oh, and now a thumb to the eye by Guerrero. That is vintage Eddie Guerrero as he ducks a shot from Edge and connects with a massive kick to the face. As Eddie Guerrero now going to work on Edge with a sleeper hold here. But Carlito's right there. Is he going to choose to break up the pin, or break up the submission rather? And yes, they are. They don't want to take any chances. As Shelton went for a kick, but Carlito caught the leg. As now Carlito's got Benjamin by the arm. Guerrero rakes the eyes again. And now back suplex there to Edge. Meanwhile, Carlito with a bit of a submission hold on Shelton Benjamin, trying to choke him out. As Guerrero went for a drop kick in the corner, but Edge caught him with a reverse elbow. And now Carlito and Edge staring each other down. And now Guerrero's back in the mix. Guerrero looking to sneak in with a schoolboy, but Shelton Benjamin quick to break up that pin. And Benjamin whipped over the top rope. And Edge over the top rope. Look at Carlito. Carlito launching himself. And now Guerrero was looking to catch Carlito off guard with a kick, but he missed. Able to take him down with a back suplex though. Shelton and Edge. Well, I thought they were going to go at it on the outside, and it looks like they are. Wait a minute, Carlito! Carlito with a jawbreaker. And look at this, Carlito, backstabber! A backstabber to Eddie Guerrero. But Carlito, I don't think he's going to be able to capitalize. Not with Edge and Shelton in the ring. And now Carlito has got, oh no, we're going to see it again. We're going to see it again, folks. Every match this happens. Somebody getting draped across that top rope, not a place where you want to be. And that could potentially have a big impact on, oh, speaking of big impacts, how about that clothesline by Carlito? As Shelton whipped into the corner, Edge follows him in, but Carlito takes a shot on Eddie Guerrero from behind. But Guerrero gonna take Carlito to the corner. And look at Guerrero, huge Hurricanrana, and Guerrero to the top. Eddie Guerrero, can he hit it? The frog splash, but no, he can't. Carlito is out of position. Guerrero missed his chance. And now Guerrero scrambling to capitalize, to find something to hit him with. Look at this, looking for the roll up. Nobody turns it. He turns it into a submission hold. Meanwhile, spear! A spear by Edge. Carlito breaks the submission hold. But Edge can't capitalize off his spear because Eddie Guerrero is right there with him. And now Edge able to take down Guerrero with a headlock takeover. Carlito going after Edge. And now Eddie Guerrero perhaps looking to capitalize on Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin whipped into the corner. And Guerrero monkey flip. Benjamin goes flying rather. And Guerrero, massive elbow to the face of Shelton. I thought maybe he was gonna go for that frog splash, but considering he missed the last one, perhaps he thought better of it. Wait a minute, Carlito just caught Edge with a cool shot. But can he capitalize? Yes, he can, but look out, Guerrero is right there, and Guerrero breaks it up. Eddie Guerrero takes a golden opportunity away from Carlito. Edge back to his feet, and Edge goes straight after Carlito, but that attack by Edge gave Guerrero an opening. As Guerrero again looking to go back to that arm of Edge. We saw him use this move before. There's that arm breaker from the top rope. Carlito with the cover. Carlito the pin. Carlito pins Shelton Benjamin. Eddie Guerrero tried to make it over there for the save, but Carlito pins the former Intercontinental Champion. And I'd have to say, that is another huge upset in this matchup. Who would have thought that Finlay and Carlito would have won their matches given the opponents involved? But that's the nature of Taboo. Oh, and look at Carlito, the disrespect. But that's the nature of Taboo Tuesday. People who normally wouldn't get opportunities, get opportunities. And Carlito and Finlay, they have capitalized on them. It's time for the Tag Team Championship matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as we await the challengers. A very odd team in this situation. Obviously, that was the whole point of this matchup, was that a tag team who, well, the whole point was that they were thrown together tag teams who really aren't teams. But this could be a golden opportunity for Batista and Triple H to capture championship gold here tonight at Taboo Tuesday. Can they get it done? Are they going to be able to coexist long enough to defeat a team like M&M, who at the moment is red hot? They cannot be stopped. I don't know if it can be done. By Triple H and Batista, I mean, certainly they have worked together in the past as a part of Evolution, but at the moment, it doesn't seem as though they're exactly on the greatest of terms. And what confuses me here is, why is Triple H wearing a suit? Clearly, Triple H is not taking this matchup very seriously. I don't think he wants the tag team titles at all. So, by the looks of things, this could be a glorified handicap match. Is Triple H even going to get involved at all? He looks more like a manager than a tag team wrestler in this situation. Oh boy. This is our former WWE champion, folks. If it doesn't concern him, he doesn't care. They say that you've got to pick your battles. You've got to, I guess, oh wait, hey, there, it worked! It worked! It was right! Oh my god, how did I never realize this? In the near 10 years that I have been playing this game, how did I never know this? I feel like such an idiot. It sucks that they don't have an M&M entrance though, which is kind of aggravating, because obviously they have their own championship entrances as singles competitors, but not as tag team champions because they don't have a tag team entrance, which is annoying. But hey, they're coming out together. It's less redundant than it was before. They're gonna share a Power 25 ranking. Thank God we can have more contenders for titles now. This is happy days for me, and hopefully for you as well. There you see Batista and Triple H talking it out. I'm not entirely sure if they're gonna be on the same page. Right now they seem to be okay, but I don't think they looked quite as chummy as Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro is right now. You see Joey Mercury starting out with the upper hand. Oh, but both men trading shots. A bit disoriented. Batista couldn't even strike Mercury after that. They butted heads. And Joey Mercury looking to capitalize on this. Powerbomb! And look at this, bridging for the pin! 1, 2... But no, Batista able to kick out. As you see Triple H not even lifting a finger to help. Look at this, Nitro and Mercury going to work on Batista here. And that's just smart tag team wrestling right there. And if Triple H isn't going to help Batista, well, I think this matchup could take a turn for the worst very quickly. In fact, maybe it already has. As right now, Joey Mercury working on the leg of Batista, and again Nitro, I should say. Look at Nitro taking a shot at Triple H. That's a very bold move by Johnny Nitro, going straight after the former WWE champion, and again, it's a 2-on-1 situation, and Triple H doesn't even lift a finger to help. Batista is just, well, he really is in a lose-lose situation right now. As Triple H, he can just watch Batista get torn apart by M&M, as again, Nitro comes into the fray. And again, Nitro takes a shot at Triple H. Knocks him off the apron, but Triple H... Oh wait, Triple H has entered the ring! Triple H! I don't think this is necessarily to help Batista, but just to get his own revenge, as right now a double suplex by M&M. Triple H... Oh, a low blow! The ref didn't see it! The referee didn't see the low blow! And now the referee sees it. Triple H is going to have to get out of the ring before 5 counts. Well, maybe this will work out. Maybe the team of Batista and Triple H will manage to capture tag team gold if they just can manage to not butt heads. As Batista now has the upper hand on Mercury. No, counter. Counter by Joey Mercury. As there's a shot from Mercury. Oh, but a massive kick by Batista, but another counter by Mercury. As you see Batista trying to outpower him, but Mercury continues to dodge. As a massive clothesline there by Joey Mercury. Triple H trying to reach in for a tag, so it seems as though Triple H is invested now. But for how long, I don't know. As look out, Mercury whipped into the corner. But that was the opposite corner. Not where Batista wanted him, but now he's got him where he wants him. And look at this, Batista and Triple H working together. Isn't that wait, but the referee going after Triple H, what's the ref doing? Did the ref not see the tag? Maybe he didn't. I can't figure out how to make a tag now. Oh crap, this is not gonna be good. As now, Nitro with the knee lift. I was trying to go for a story beat there, and it just, I did not hit the right button to make a tag. This is actually going to be a problem if I can't figure out how to tag. But right now, Joey Mercury has tagged out of the match, and it's Johnny Nitro and Triple H squaring off. But Triple H, a massive clothesline. Triple H is starting to heat up. Oh, he went for the running knee, but Nitro able to dodge it. But this is the former WWE Champion, the longest reigning champion in GM mode by far. The only way that Undertaker would even be able to match that reign right now would be to last the rest of this series and then continue on in the 08 GM Mode Challenge Series. Speaking of that series, I can officially confirm that that is a thing that is going to happen. Now, I think the ref saw that low blow, but this ref just doesn't care. He just bends the rules for Triple H. And it's actually getting on my nerves. Oh, there's a massive clothesline by the Game. The Game continuing to keep the pressure on as he delivers a knee. And you have to thank Triple H in a suit. He's not dressed to compete, but he is still fighting anyway. I don't think Triple H expected to play a role in this matchup, but he is right now as the tag made to Batista and a massive kick to the midsection of Johnny Nitro. Batista hooks the leg on Nitro. 1, 2, but Mercury makes the save. Come off it, ref, with the rope break. Mercury broke that up. As Mercury tosses Batista from the ring, but the ref arguing with Mercury here. But as for the GM mode, I mean, look at this. The referee's not even keeping control of this situation right now. Mercury going after Batista, Nitro. I mean, now everybody's on the outside. This is broken down. This is completely out of control. As Batista takes a shot on Mercury, looks like he's going after. He took a shot on Nitro, was trying to go after Mercury, but Nitro got in the way. As now Batista's got his hands on Mercury. No counter. Counter by Mercury. And here's Mercury. Double underhook DDT. But not going for the pin. Instead, Johnny Nitro going to toss him to the outside. But as for the 08 Challenge Series, it's going to happen. I'm going to be making it. I don't expect it to start until 2018. Until after the 07 GM Mode Series has concluded and after I get, you know, the usual thing where I'll put... The 07 GM Mode is going to go on a hiatus if I haven't finished it by the time 2K18's release. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But as for the 08 Challenge Mode Series, what I'm going to do is, depending on who the champion is at the end of the series, if it's somebody who's in 2008 on the roster, then they are going to be my champion. So let's say the Undertaker holds on to that championship until the end of this series. If that happens, then the Undertaker, I will draft him. He will be the champion at the start of the 2008 GM Mode Series. But if it's somebody like Kurt Angle or Shelton Benjamin, somebody who isn't in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, then we're going to start fresh. But because I do want it to be in sort of the same timeline, the same universe as the same canon, that's what I was looking for. You know, the same canon as these past two series, then I would like to carry over the champion if it is somebody that I can carry over. But I'll give more details on the rules of that series as we get closer to it. But I did just want to throw that out there while I have the thought on my mind. As Johnny Nitro has got Batista, and look at this. The airplane spin. And Batista is off balance. Batista's in a bad way. Mercury! Nitro, rather. Jesus Christ. Johnny Nitro with the super kick. Hooks the leg on Batista. Triple H not even lifting a finger to save him. And M&M retains the tag team titles. Not exactly what I would call a stellar outing from Batista in Triple H. They were on the same page for a brief moment there, but obviously at the end of the day, Triple H was watching out for number one, and that was not Batista. Triple H did not have Batista's best interest in mind. He didn't care about the tag team titles. He just wanted to make sure that he got out of there unscathed, and that is what happened. And as a result, M&M continue their impressive reign, a massive victory over Batista and Triple H. You can bet that that's not going to go unnoticed. And finally, it's main event time. And what a story this has been for the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. In the SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 series, he did have an opportunity to face Triple H for the World Heavyweight title, albeit unsuccessfully, back at the very first pay-per-view, which was Judgment Day. After that, Kurt Angle could not make it back to the main event scene, so he abandoned SmackDown, he jumped ship, and he left us in the dust. Fast forward a year, we are now the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Kurt Angle traded from SmackDown to Raw, and he is now here at Taboo Tuesday, now challenging for our world title. It's not Triple H, it is The Undertaker he's going up against. But what a story this is for Kurt Angle. If he gets it done, that would certainly be a hell of a tale for Kurt Angle to tell. It would definitely be, I'd say, one of the, in terms of like storylines that this GM mode has produced, I'd have to say it would probably be one of the most memorable out of the series. Triple H's legendary championship reign being one of them. The whole situation with Kurt Angle being another. That's another impressive feat. And that's really is why I want the 08 Challenge Mode series to span, to continue this timeline, because we've had a lot of great moments in the past two series, and I want the 08 Challenge Mode to continue that. I want it to continue this legacy, this heritage that we have developed, and really just kind of close the book on it. On top of also being a new way to approach GM mode. And maybe by the time that series is done, WWE 2K19, if 2K18 doesn't have it, maybe we can have GM mode and we can start a new timeline. That would just be great, having GM mode in the new games and being able to carry that over like I do Universe mode. Ah, the thought of it is just amazing. And this main event can finally get underway. You want to talk about amazing. This matchup right here, Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. Just look at the size differential. But at the same time, in terms of technical ability, Kurt Angle is unrivaled. The Undertaker, he may have the size, the strength advantage, but in terms of speed and technical prowess, I think Kurt Angle may have the edge. And in terms of speed, that's a big factor in a steel cage match. The Undertaker, I think a pinfall or submission victory would favor The Undertaker in this situation. But Kurt Angle, having that speed advantage, would... Oh, wait a minute, look at this! Speaking of power, you can never underestimate the power of Kurt Angle with that German suplex. Oh, but this is what I'm talking about, that agility as Kurt Angle looks to escape the steel cage. Oh, but The Undertaker knocked him straight off that steel structure. But now Kurt Angle looking to whip Taker into it. And that is going to play a big factor in this matchup, the steel cage. As right now Kurt Angle going to work on the dead man, just striking him down. That's the thing, you don't want to try to escape the cage too early on in a match, because as you just saw with Kurt Angle, you take a fall from the top of the steel cage like that, and that'll leave you hurting for certain. As there's a kick in the corner by The Undertaker. But there's some strikes from Kurt Angle, but Taker retaliates with one of his own. Kurt Angle went to rush at him, but Taker ducked it. Look at this, schoolboy! Look at Kurt Angle using the momentum to full effectiveness. Oh, but he couldn't get the 3 count. Oh, and there's a massive shot to the face by The Undertaker, but Kurt Angle right back at him. No, but Taker with the counter. It looked like Angle was going for another German suplex. And that's the thing, the reactions of Kurt Angle have been far too quick for The Undertaker to compete with. But you can't compete with that. Head first into the steel cage. The Undertaker just leveled Kurt Angle, and he's gonna do it again. Oh, and now look at The Undertaker. Undertaker looking to go in for the kill. 2 straight shots with the steel cage, and a tombstone pile driver. Taker looking to make quick work of Kurt Angle, and he does. A dominant victory for The Undertaker. That was a surprise, quick, and dominant victory by The Undertaker. This matchup was just barely getting started, but The Undertaker, I guess that's just the devastating nature of the steel cage, is that The Undertaker ramming Kurt Angle into the steel cage twice in a row, and then the tombstone, just too much damage to the head. Kurt Angle, no way he could kick out of that, and the story continues for Kurt Angle. How will he react to this humiliating loss? Will he jump ship again? We'll have to see. All right, let's see. How did we do? How were we rated? How good of a pay-per-view is that? Because our pay-per-views are always spectacular. 350,000, I was hoping for more, but I guess that's okay. That's fine. We had only a 4-star show. Oh my God, they are sabotaging us. Eddie Guerrero can't buy a match, 5th loss in a row. Oh boy, we had such a huge lead, but then the game is taking it away from us. Usually a pay-per-view like that would have gotten us 500, maybe 600,000 fans if we're really on our A game. But no, that one only got 350,000, which is not bad, but I was expecting more out of it. Okay, and it seems as though The Undertaker has not suffered a severe injury. It seems that he's still okay, so we were fine. We put him in the steel cage and he did not break. He didn't fall apart. However, in terms of our morale, a couple of guys like Kurt Angle, I don't remember if there was somebody else I think who wanted a title shot, but I don't quite recall who that was. Maybe it was Triple H or something. But we have guys like Eddie Guerrero and John Cena who haven't had title shots since September 22nd. And what really concerns me is that they are unsatisfied right now. But one thing I noticed, Edge hasn't had a title shot since September 22nd either. But he's not complaining. So I'm worried that he is just gonna flip the switch to upset. So I gotta keep an eye on him. It looks like Matt Hardy wants a title shot as well. Michaels, he wants one, and considering he just won, he'll probably get one. Cena, not so much. Finlay, yeah, after that victory, I imagine he'll end up on the Power 15. And if he can beat Carlito, well then he's got a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, I really don't think that these two are gonna get in WWE Championship contention, so we're looking at our next Intercontinental Championship #1 contender right there. We've got, well, this, actually, I think all of these, yeah. We could maybe get one more match out of them. I don't really think I want to, though. We'll leave it there, though. I'll decide on that for the next episode. But all these other stuff we've still got going on. Edge Guerrero, Batista Triple H, and Undertaker Kurt Angle. That'll be interesting. And then we could also set up some new rivalries here. What exactly those would be, I'm not sure yet. Obviously, we can do Mick Foley versus whoever wins the Carlito-Finlay matchup. But yeah, this is just what we're working with right now. But let's take a look at the ratings. Let's see how Taboo Tuesday did. We had a 5-star last minute. How is this 4 stars? The game is just actually sabotaging us, because these ratings don't add up. Yeah, we had a 3-star, but balance that with a 4-star, you get 3.5. No, balance it with a 5-star, you get 4. You get 4-star. You get, actually no. Okay, this is a 4-star show. That the math evens out. They're not sabotaging it. Not sabotaging us. I still think we could have gotten more than 350,000, but that's all right. That's fine. I am okay with those ratings. We can't check the Power 25. Nothing would have changed. There are some contracts that I would like to renew. Batista is happy, so I'm gonna secure him. One thing that I did notice that I never paid attention to before: if you want to renew their contracts, the more months you give them, the less it costs. So I might start doing more 3-month deals rather than 5 weeks. Although that is a bit, well, Mick Foley's the Intercontinental Champion, so I can afford to do that. It's just a matter of whether or not you have the cash at that point in time. Edge, I am very worried that he, I mean, then again, some people with lower popularity don't complain about not getting title shots, so perhaps that could be it. But I'm not gonna renew him just yet. I'm gonna hold off on that. And we have a couple of guys here who have really long contracts because I extended them. I also gotta be careful with extending contracts because I think there are certain people, like obviously Paul Burchill, when he runs out that contract, he's done. I think I might look to try to trade JBL away, but I'd like to chip away at that contract a bit. I'm thinking I'm gonna put JBL in a rivalry with Mr. Kennedy, given their actions in that Fatal 4-Way. Because that tag team just doesn't seem to be working out. So for the next episode, I'm going to line up a heel-face turn. What am I doing? Oh, I hit the wrong thing. A heel-face turn for Mr. Kennedy. We'll turn him face. Or should I turn JBL face just to get rid of him? We have more faces, or we have more heels than faces, so Kennedy can turn face. But what's going to go down next episode, I will book that out next time. So until then, as always, keep on YouTubing.